Suppose we wanted to read in an array from a file or from user input in a program, but suppose that when we were writing the program, we didn't know ahead of time exactly how big or how many elements we would need to store in that array. Well, in the early days of C, generally what we had to do is we had to create the array such that it would be big enough to store all the elements. So we were essentially guessing at what the max size would be. Now, in thinking about this is probably not the most efficient way to go because, well, if you're super conservative, your array is probably going to be a lot bigger than it really needs to be. But what's happened is in later versions of C, and specifically in the C99 version, they added this ability to have variable length arrays. It doesn't mean that your array can change size once you declare it, but what it means is you can do something like this. You can declare the size here of an array using a variable and not a constant integer value. So what this gives us here is a way that we can read in either from user input, as in this case, or from, say, a file, to get the value of the size of the array and then declare the array and then load in information or load in data into the array. So in this particular example, all we're doing is we're reading in from the user using scanf the size of the array, and then we declare the array here using this size variable whose value that we just read in. And then after that, then we have this nice for loop here that just loads in or computes the even values and then just prints out the contents of the array. So let's just see this in action. So we go ahead, save, compile, run, and we say, well, let's just generate 10. And so then it goes ahead and stores the values here, and then it prints it out. Suppose, however, we tried to do something like this, where in the middle here we said, well, I want size to be, say, 100 regardless. Again, variable length arrays doesn't mean that we can resize the array. And this right here does not automatically grow our array back here. Once we've declared it, it's fixed at that size. So if we do something like this, let's save, compile, run here, and say I only want an array of size 10, but by providing, and then, wow, okay, that's bad. So we have actually gone ahead and crashed our program. Because, again, what we've done here is it was okay up to this point, but then after it got past probably around 10 or maybe something a little bigger than that, then it just crashed because we were trying to access things and store things in memory that we weren't supposed to.